one of the most tragic and beloved characters in all of Dragon Ball, the one-armed Super Saiyan from the future, Gohan. Future Gohan is a character that many fans love for his heroic actions, but also for his tragic backstory. I love Future Gohan's design with the one arm and the scar over his eye. However, I wonder if Future Gohan is the most tragic character in Dragon Ball Z. While I still believe this label is unfortunately on Future Trunks, I will be exploring the possibility of Gohan being that character. Let's dive into the tragedy of Future Gohan. One of the biggest tragedies that come along with Future Gohan is his power level. During the events of the Future timeline, Gohan's power level was around Yard-Right Goku. Retrospectively, his power level is extremely weak given what happens by the end of Z. Therefore, the only villain that we can assume Gohan could defeat is Frieza. It's quite obvious that Gohan would not win against the androids given what happened in his timeline and the current one. The craziest part being that the androids in the current timeline were significantly stronger than the future. Now, there are a couple of aspects as to why Gohan's power level plateaued. First, having no one to train him to push him past the limits. Throughout the present timeline, Gohan has always had a teacher, whether that be Goku or Piccolo. Someone was there to push him further. Gohan's secret to his power, unfortunately, was the suffering or death of his friends. Gohan did not have that once he grew up and became the last Z fighter left who had to fight against the androids. Yes, I know Roshi was still alive, but we all know he would not last a single second against the murderous androids. Plus, we have never seen Master Roshi train Gohan, so I wonder if Master Roshi would have trained Gohan, things would have been differently. Second, his arm getting blown off by the androids. Future Gohan protecting Trunks from the blast from the androids led to his scar and arm being blown off. I always wondered why Bulma never created an arm for him, but seeing how Gohan wandered off to fight the androids, he probably didn't have a chance to make one. However, in an alternate timeline, let's say Trunks died instead of Gohan. He could have gone Super Saiyan 2 against the androids. Let me know in the comment section, do you think Gohan would have won Super Saiyan 2 against the androids if Trunks had died instead? Also, would that have been enough to defeat the androids? I do not think that would have been enough if he only had one arm. With two arms, I believe Gohan would have defeated the androids. I think it is also worth mentioning that because Gohan is a half Saiyan, he would have more potential than a full-blooded Saiyan. Yet, due to everyone dying and constantly fighting in a 2v1 all the time, he would be fatigued badly. Gohan had to teach himself how to become a Super Saiyan, and he was not able to train in the hyperbolic time chamber. Two disadvantages that would hinder his ability and chances of fighting against the androids. It is also important to mention that he fought two extremely strong androids with unlimited energy. Fighting against opponents who literally cannot get tired or run out of energy is the worst case scenario. When there are no Dragon Balls to grant you strength, bring friends back, or even wish the androids away, Gohan had one life and chance to save his future. Gohan losing everyone important to him is one of the most important factors to his tragedy. In all timelines, Gohan's friends and family have always been important. They have always been a contributor to his power. In the present timeline, Gohan first displayed it when Goku was wounded against Raditz. During the Saiyan Saga, Gohan locks in once everyone around him is hurt or dead, which is a good and bad thing because it leads to those he loves having to get hurt for him to reach his full potential. I can only imagine how depressed Future Gohan was. Goku dying from the heart virus before even having a chance to fight the androids is crazy to think about. This could have led to Gohan to immediately thinking everything was doomed because if Goku was dead, who can protect them? Could it be Vegeta or would it have to be Gohan? I can only imagine during this time, Gohan was not ready to protect everyone he loved. Whether that was mentally or physically, Gohan was not ready. Once the androids showed up and killed everyone, he had no chance but to step up. Vegeta and Piccolo dying, I can imagine was the point when Gohan decided the future is up to him. Then watching the weaker fighters die and probably horrible deaths was enough for Gohan to take the mantle of responsibility. Future Gohan had no intention of training Trunks until Trunks begged him to train him. Gohan knew Trunks' anger against the androids would be the perfect reason his power would grow. Trunks was the last person that Gohan knew he had to protect. Yes, I know that Bulma was there as well, but we know that she had no chance against the androids if they were to find her. Gohan was going to do whatever it took to make sure that Trunks would survive in the future. In the Trunks special, Gohan knocks out Trunks before his final confrontation with the androids. Trunks wanted to help Gohan fight the androids, but Gohan knew he was not strong enough to fight the androids. Gohan also knew that Trunks would only be in the way and would do more harm than good. During the time, Trunks could not go Super Saiyan and was only a mere boy. Trunks would have possibly died if he fought against the androids. Gohan's death in the special is sad, and seeing him lie face down in the rain just hurts. In Dragon Ball Kakarot, Gohan's death scene hurts more than in the special in my opinion. Seeing Gohan do a one-armed Kamehameha against the androids was not only dope to see, but hit so much more given the fact that he gave it one last effort. Probably Future Gohan's strongest Kamehameha, which reminds me of Roshi during the Tournament of Power doing his strongest Kamehameha. That is not even the saddest thing regarding Future Gohan. Gohan never wanted to be a fighter, and that is the biggest tragedy of them all. Not the fact that everyone died, the future was destroyed, and Trunks was left alone, but the fact he never got to become a scholar. In the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Gohan talks about how he wants to be a scholar and that he does not want to be a fighter like his father. Some fans have said it's because Chi-Chi would not allow Goku to train him, but I disagree. We know that half Saiyans do not have the same warrior prowess and desire to be the strongest. Seeing this in Gohan, Trunks, and Goten, where they have no desire to fight and just want to enjoy life. This is due to their human nature, which is understandable. Future Gohan never had a chance to live his dream due to having to fight constantly. Once Frieza was defeated, there was probably a moment of peace until Goku died of the heart virus and the androids attacked. At this point, Future Gohan was the Earth's last hope until Trunks asked to get trained. We see how kind Gohan is to Trunks and how he even calls him his little brother before he heads off to fight the androids one last time. It's really sad to see, and knowing that Chi-Chi still worries so much about Gohan is also quite sad. In the movie, it is not shown whether Chi-Chi found out that Gohan died against the androids. I would hope that Trunks or Bulma would have let Chi-Chi know, but we only see a time skip to 3 years later after his death. In Gohan's final battle against the androids, he tells them that they could never fully destroy him. Someone would rise up and eventually defeat those monsters. At this point, Gohan had put all his faith in Trunks. I do not believe Gohan figured he was going to survive this fight and left the future up to Trunks. His fight against the androids was very short, and knowing that he died because of the severe disadvantage he had with one arm is heartbreaking. The young and happy kid who only wanted to be a scholar was forced to abandon those dreams to protect his future. Originally, I had always thought that Future Gohan was a weak character and at times considered overrated. However, when I watched the History of Trunks movie, my opinion changed immediately. Future Gohan lost everyone around him and was forced to step into a role he could not imagine being in. I have grown a soft spot for Future Gohan because throughout everything, he remained kind to those around him. This is the personality of Gohan, and that's what makes him a great character. I guess to answer the big question, is Future Gohan the most tragic character in Dragon Ball Z? I would have to say no. Likewise, I genuinely believe it is a tie between him and Trunks. Don't get me wrong, Gohan was Trunks' best friend, and for him to see him lying face down dead in the rain is tragic. Trunks' struggle against the androids is heart-wrenching, but I do not think it is possible to compare both of the tragedies. I guess if I had to pick one, it would still be Future Gohan, and for this one reason alone. Future Trunks was able to get wished back to life in the present with the Dragon Balls, and Gohan was not able to get brought back to life. Future Gohan was not able to experience a world free from the terror of the androids, his father surviving the heart virus, and most importantly, being a scholar. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and comment. If you would like to support the channel, become a member or join the Patreon for early access to videos and more exclusive Bugzey content. It's been Bugzey, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.